Hello. This time I'm going to felt Namine from Kingdom Hearts. If you want to try and make your first chibi character felted figure, then Namine is perfect to do that. She doesn't have complicated layers, you just need to do the right shape for all parts and do her hair right. You need to prepare white, pink, light yellow, skin and blue. You can buy 2 shades of yellow, a light one for hair and a normal one for shoe details. The same for blue wool, you can buy a little darker blue for the eyes and lighter blue for shoes. Alright, so as always I've started by making a ball for the head. Once I made my shape big enough, it's time to make eyes. I used my cardboard template for eyes, it should have a more or less oval shape. And you need to felt on more stable felting subsoil, normal home sponge will bend too much to get it right. When I've made the eyes, it was time to connect them. If you have spare needles, then use them to position both eyes in the right place like I did. From the tiny thread of the wool create a mouth. I always roll such threads between my hands before felting them into their rightful place. It helps a lot, like kinda felt wool a little without needle. Just like you make a mouth, create eyebrows from yellow wool. Don't forget about the ear. You can do ear from the skin color wool. Start from making a patch in ear shape and add more wool later on the parts where you want them to be thicker. You need only one ear since the second one is covered by the hair. Hairstyle is Namine's charm and her most iconic design point, so doing it right is important. Felt carefully strands of the hair. If you make some strands too short, then don't worry, you can always add more wool. I start by grabbing wool, checking the piece with the head, how long I want it to be, roll it once or twice with the length I need and then start to felt it. Once I have felted stable line, I add more layers of wool up the hair to make it wider. You need to do such a thing with each strand of hair and add them to the head. Usually, you will need to place more wool on top of the head anyway, or else it will look a little too flat. Well, as a drawing teenager, it's no surprise that Namine was one of my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts series. Thinking back right now, just as most of the girls in this series, she doesn't have much big active role in the story. Still, 15 me, found her charming, and very close to who I was as a kid, drawing, quiet girl in the corner. I was always happy to see her in the story and I'm glad she returned in Kingdom Hearts 3. I find her design simple but pretty. I remember wanting to be so pretty as her. I even cut one side of my hair, when I was in art school. It looked awful with my wavy hair, but this is still a nice memory to recall now. She had bigger scenes in official novels and I wish some of them were in the Kingdom Hearts too. Like she has 2 or 3 new scenes with Riku when he cares for her and tries to protect her. One of them when he tells her to escape was included in Final Mix. Anyway, those scenes made me wanna ship both of them since back then, and it's interesting they kinda go with this pairing at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. As I said, I wish for Namine to have a better role in the story in the future, but I should probably give up. Looks like Nomura is more focused on making new story plots and characters than building up the existing ones. It's a sad truth, which I learned hard after waiting for some interactions, some traveling together around the world of our first main trio, meaning Sora, Riku, and Kairi. But what I've got lately only left a sadness in my heart that waited for like 10 years for something more with Destiny Trio. It's still great series and I'm interested in where this story will go. But I gave up on expecting something more complex in a matter of characters' relationships. This way I won't be so disappointed in the future like I was after Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of the Memory. I didn't finish backside hair for now because it will be easier to connect head to the rest of the body first and after that finish Namine's hair. Now you need to felt your main body by making a cylinder-like shape. Always use a color that covers most of body shape. In Namine's case it's best to do it from white wool and add skin color details later. Next, you need to felt 4 slim cylinder-like shapes from the skin color wool. The leg ones can be a little wider, so if you felt the piece you planned for arms and it turned out too wide, then use it for the legs. Alright, you have all pieces you need for Namine's body, now try to connect them. After you have done that, it's not important which of the following details you do next. I've started with making the chest of Namine a little bigger for a better shape. Then, I've moved to finish the feet. First I've built up feet with skin wool. Then, I added blue patches of wool to the bottom of both feet. Next, I've made belts for the shoes and connected them. The last thing to do is to felt those small shuriken-like details on her shoes. I didn't think shoes will be so annoying when I start, so I post a longer clip of making them, since I said this is a good figure for the first chibi one. The most difficult part was to felt down belts with arms getting in a way. Bending needle usually doesn't end well for the tip, so move your figure around as much as you need to. Get a good picture of the side of the shoes too. Belts on the back side don't go straight down, but they cross in one point, and only one belt ends in the footing. Then you need to make a long white patch for Namine's dress. You need to make it wavy at the end. I've made that by felting arches like shapes and connecting them with the rest of the patch. The trick is just to add more wool later to smoosh connections. Namine alone is almost finished. I've just fixed the upper part of her dress and all left is to connect the head. You can add a little more wool between head and rest of the body if striking with needle from both sides won't hold very well. I put more skin color wool on the back myself. Hair will cover that part anyway and your head will be a lot more stable. With all connected, you can easily finish back of the hair. I didn't want my Namine to be so simple and alone, so I've made her star shape a good luck charm. I quickly sketched a star on the cardboard piece, cut it in half for easier cutting of the shape, and used it like I did with the eye template. And there she is, Namine's chibi figure. I hope you liked this video. If you do, then leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I want to do more Kingdom Hearts characters for sure. I've chosen her this time since I didn't have much time for more complex figures and she was on my list to do next a quite while. Anyway, see you in the next video.